Maestra Angelica. It is a pleasure to be back with you as always. And we just really thank you for organizing these two great groups that we had earlier today and then now. And as I mentioned earlier today, UABC is a place that's very special in my heart and in the heart of our project, the International Teaching Alliance, because this is really where the work began. It's where the idea started. It's where the dream was launched. Approximately 5 years ago, I came here was by myself, basically, and an idea. But from there, we took the idea, we ran with it, and teachers and graduates from UABC and other schools bought into it, and we went the first year to 75 teachers, mainly in Arizona, 2 in California. To year 2 that we're finishing now, we have 400 teachers in approximately 26 different states. And now we're looking this coming year to grow to approximately 500 to 800 teachers in as many as 30 to 35 states. So that really is exponential growth that could not be possible without the support of universities such as yours that produce wonderful educators that believe in sharing opportunities for their students and graduates to grow. And we're just very proud to be here and return annually here to UABC. So thank you so much for having us. And as I mentioned, it no longer is it a one-man show, but we actually have a wonderful team I'd like to introduce to you. Our team is really international. As Angelica mentioned, I am based out of Litchfield Park or Phoenix, Arizona. We also have Maestro Alejandro Martinez is also in the Phoenix, Arizona area, but he's also from the university here. We have Alberto Calderon from Hermosillo, Sonora. Also Sergio Espinosa from Hermosillo, Sonora. And then we have Fabiola Barrientos, and she is from Mexicali and also teaches at UABC. So we're very happy to have all of our team represented here. And this is going to be more interactive. It's just not me talking and sharing information, but you're going to hear some stories from and testimonials from some of your own peers that have graduated from your university, the same programs that you're in now, and have gone down to states. Some are in their first year, some are in their second year, but they're actually living the dream. They're having an experience, what we call the Eat That experience, and we're excited to share that with you. We'll also hear from one of our current host partner district employers, the assistant superintendent in the Phoenix area, is also going to share her experience of working with our international teachers. So again, thanks for having us here. And without further ado, we're going to start with a few videos, and so you can see what we're about.
Movement to hire international teachers to U.S. schools. This school district has now hired about 1/3 of its teachers from outside the country, and it's not only helping fill staffing gaps, but it's also helping enrich the lives of students and teachers alike.
Ocampo, Miss Delilah, Santiago.
These are the moments that can shape a student's future.
Let's continue with the reading of our book. So everybody take your books.
Support in the classroom can mean success in life.
Beyonce, could you please continue with the reading?
For an instant, he did not look, only scared towards the gate.
But with so many schools across the country in desperate need of teachers, student success is at risk.
How do you connect these? If you don't connect them, you forget them.
That's why teachers like Sandra Caicedo are stepping in.
Well, I love teaching because I believe a lot in education. I have recognized the power that education gives not only to the one who teaches, but also the ones who learn.
Sandra learned this lesson many years ago, teaching in her home country, Colombia. Now she's using her skills to teach English and language arts to students in Arizona.
Could you please read the definition of the word?
Stories like Sandra's are becoming more common. Teachers from around the globe are getting recruited to help U.S. schools.
We kind of stumbled into this, and little did we know that this would be really a treasure chest to all kinds of talent that exists out there.
Espiritu School District CEO Armando Ruiz says hiring diverse teachers enriches how the students experience school.
A lot of our kids can't go to other places in the world. They can't travel. So it's like we brought the world to them.
Sandra says this move was an opportunity to do what she loves and be a role model to her students who grew up like she did.
Immigrant students are a lot. They are a lot in our classrooms. So an international teacher can understand other situations different because we also are coming new in the country.
They can relate because these teachers come here to work hard, really, really hard, put everything that they can into a society that they don't know, and that's what most of our families have done. You know, come to this country looking for something better.
And the students agree.
International teachers are great because most of the time they teach us about a lot of their cultures and a lot of different things around the world and stuff like that.
Teachers like Sandra can come teach at U.S. schools using a J-1 visa. Most teachers are recruited from the Philippines, Jamaica, China, France, and Colombia. And they're now working across the United States, with most teachers going to North and South Carolina, California, Texas, Arizona, and Florida. Armando knows hiring international teachers can't solve the teacher shortage, but it can help.
If you're going to compete globally, you have to go to the ends of the earth to look for that talent.
I promised the ancient I would never follow at night.
It's this talent that teaches life lessons found in no textbook and imparts the passion our students deserve.
It sounds very romantic, but I want to change the world. And I'm sure that I could do it in a classroom.
In Phoenix, I'm Alexa Liaco reporting.
Right now I'm working here in Phoenix, Arizona, and
Argentina, Colombia, Nicaragua, Honduras, Mexico, Argentina, bunch of Latin American teachers.
I'm from Plática.
I'm from Honduras.
I really think that my staff has gone beyond anybody would ask.
I was teaching English in Mexico to elementary kids.
So I decided to come to San Antonio, which is a great city to be at.
And sometimes we didn't even need to ask. I mean, they're always there willing. It's just an amazing thing how they came together and how we have all come together as a team to be able to help the teachers, to actually support the teachers, and again, to open their hearts and their homes to our teachers. So a lot of our teachers still don't have a car, and so we need to take them, to different places, like to get their fingerprints, for example, take them over there, bring them back, take them to school, bring them back. We're trying to do all of that, and housing them as well. That temporary housing in the beginning when they first come to the United States, they need a place to stay. But we do have a chat that they created, so if somebody needs something, we'll just put it in the chat and then, say, well, I can do that because I'm on my way there, or, I'm close to there. I have an amazing team, I've always said it. And I think that our campuses recognize that, and our teachers recognize that we have an amazing, super smart team. But now, it's beyond the being smart and knowing your job. It's doing a lot more than that. It's opening their hearts to people that are here that can help us help our kids, right? It's just an amazing thing how they came together and how we have all come together as a team to be able to help the teachers, to actually support the teachers, and again, to open their hearts and their homes to our new teachers.
So it's quite an experience to be sitting there and watching that and think, oh my gosh, that's the work that we do. These opportunities that we provide. And you can see that it's grown from that idea to being reality. And we've grown from just being in 75 teachers in Arizona. Now you can see our teachers at Northeast Independent School District in San Antonio, Texas. You can see our teachers there at Espiritu Charter Schools in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. It's amazing. It really is amazing. And what's amazing is that you too can take care or take advantage of this opportunity. And so that's why we're here tonight, to share that opportunity with you. And you're going to hear from some of these lovely ladies behind me tonight. They once sat in the same seat that you're in because they graduated from the university. They studied here, and they're living the dream. They're living the dream there that they need to experience in the United States. So let me do some introductions. Can you all hear me? Fernanda, can you hear me?
Ethan, you have to get closer to
I go to closer. So we have to use technology here. So I'm sorry. Mine's starting to like I have to sit down in front of the computer. So I've got to sit down here, and can you hear me better now, Fernanda? Okay, good.
Yes, you're closer, so yes, I can hear you.
Thank you so much. Okay, and Deanna, thank you for joining us, as well as Christina. Thank you so much for being here with us. And also Dr. Erica Avila. So I'm just going to try to do a round robin here and just ask some different questions of each of you. Again, we're so excited that you're joining us here with your alma mater, UABC. We're here at your old campus, your old stomping grounds, and so we want you to be able to share some of your wisdom and your experience with these young people here who are interested in following your footsteps there in the U.S. So let's go ahead and start out, Fernanda. Could you just go ahead and share a little bit about yourself, your background, and what you're doing there in the Phoenix area?
Yes. Well, I'm in the Phoenix area, and this is my second year teaching. And I come from Sonora, and I studied at UABC as an English teacher. And right now I'm 36, and I decided to apply. It felt kind of a challenge because I have family But anyway, we decided to come over here, and it's been great. Last year I did charter school, and this year I got into a public school, and they were both like great experiences. I learned a lot from both, and well, yeah, it's been a challenge definitely coming here with a family, but everything goes. I mean, it works. It works out. At the beginning, it was hard, getting all the papers settled and where to live and everything. But at the end, of course, we started with a very small apartment because at the beginning it was only with my salary, my income. But later on, my husband had a job permit, and then he started working, and we could, have like a better place to live. And it's great. It's a great experience. I'm enjoying that it's like an adventure, but at the same time, you can look up to look for something that is stable. It gives you like economic stability, and of course, a lot of learning because it's different, totally different of what we do in our country, like in Mexico.
Excellent, thank you, Fernanda. Got to brag on Fernanda a little bit because she really is an extraordinary educator. She's had significant growth with her students. She's just not there just hanging out. She's working hard, not only with her own family, which by the way I shared earlier with the other group that she's expecting a new baby soon, so we're certainly excited for her and her husband and to welcome a new one soon. But Fernanda has been very, very successful in increasing student achievement. And I know earlier you mentioned to the other group about how it's different. You're not just teaching language, right? Since you're teaching a grade level, you're teaching all subjects there in the U.S. Is that right, Fernanda?
Yes. Right now I'm in a school that it's a primary school. I do second grade, and this school specifically they do Spanish immersion, but I was hired to do only the English side, and I teach all the subjects. They are reading, writing, grammar, phonics, social studies, and science. And compared to the last year, I only did reading, so this year has been also like a learning experience for me because I never thought math in my life. I've been an English teacher, so it was a challenge, but I got into it, and it's a great experience. I mean, all schools give you a lot of support, honestly, and also ITA. Every time I have a question or something, they're always there to, like to guide me or help me so we can feel like we're not alone and we have like a backup and not feel like lost, when you are through something.
Absolutely. We're here. We're a community. We're family, and we don't abandon one another. We're there for you from before you arrive through the application process and every step of the way throughout the process. I believe you can all attest to that, right? ITA's there to support you the whole time. So we're thankful for that we have a real family, a real community as part of the ITA experience. Deanna, let's move on to you. I know that you are a graduate here of UABC, the pedagogy department, and you're a math teacher, teaching 6th grade math, north of Nogales, Arizona, in a little town called Rio Rico, right?
Yeah. Hi. So I'm neighbors. I'm originally from Mexicali. I'm not from Facultad de Lenguas. I'm from Pedagogía. So we're neighbors. I am living right now in a little town called Rio Rico. I teach math, which is what I graduated from here, in Mexico. And yeah, I'm working with 6th grade right now. I have student council as well, which we're like in charge of these school activities and all of that. So I'm very involved in the school. It's definitely fun.
Excellent. And how are the students there? How do the students differ from your experience teaching in Mexico to teaching there in Arizona? What are some unique things that you notice?
I mean, I don't see a lot of differences because I'm so close to the border. I mean, Mexicali is right on the border. This is a border town as well, so a lot of the community here speaks Spanish. So we kind of need to move them around and, kind of try to have them speak English, because they want to communicate with you in Spanish, because that's how they do it, As far as behavior, I feel like they're teenagers, they're normal teenagers. The behavior is very similar to the behavior in Mexico. The school itself, we definitely have a lot of help. Right now, we were just finishing filling out materials that we were going to need next year. So the district is providing literally everything for the students, notebooks, pencils, like everything. I know that in Mexico, unless you're like in a private school, we struggle with the things that the teachers need. But they gave us $100 to spend on Amazon for the teachers for like their classroom, like posters and everything that we wanted. So that's amazing here at my district.
That's great. So there's a lot of resources both for materials that you need. Also, there's support for you to develop professionally, correct?
Right, yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that information, Diana. We appreciate you. Christina Kondo, so we missed you earlier today, but we're so glad you're able to join us here at this afternoon session. So why don't you share with us, we heard you a little clip earlier that you're teaching in Fowler Elementary School District. Which grade level and subjects are you teaching?
Well, right now I am third grade teacher. I'm teaching all the subjects, but just third grade, so they're just 8, 9, 10 years. So they're babies. It's actually it's easy. It's really easy to teach in here because in Mexico I already have the experience over there for 6, 8 years with third grade preschool. So third grade is always my level. So in here it's almost the same. Then you have some different stuff sometimes in behavior. It's almost the same, but in their kids, Sometimes we have cultural shock sometimes, but it's not something like we cannot handle, So it's and we have a lot of resources in here. We have the mentors from the program and also from the district. So and we can pick if we can join with the mentor every week or every month. So every 2 weeks. So also something really good, like if you feel lost or you feel like something is not working or you need an advice or even so just starting with someone, you can call even your mentor or the district mentor. So you always have something so someone to grab, to have something like back you up. So I think it's something like really good in here that you never are feeling alone in teaching,
Excellent. I know firsthand, Christina, that you really enjoy to travel, and I admire that you save your money and you take advantage of the ETA experience, the J1 visa, and you do a lot of traveling. So share with us what are some recent trips that you've been on in your vacations?
Well, yes, I love traveling. So the good thing in here is that you have like 2 months, like complete full month. You have to work a lot in here all the year, but you have 2 full months for yourself, so you can spend. You have to if you think that you really save your money, like you need. From here, I already traveled to Colombia, to Seattle, to Chicago. Next in 2 months, I'm gonna go to Ohio and to Chicago again. So if you really save your money and your expenses, you really can enjoy not just working. You have to work a lot here, but also if you really have to, if you know how to saving or handle your money on time, you really it's gonna have a really great time. And I know I had never had the opportunity to get to Colombia, and now I have friends in Colombia that are inviting me every single year, every 6 months to go in there. So it's a really good chance to be in here.
Fantastic. That's exciting. It's commendable. You're really good with your money, and I always hear about your travels, and I'm like, wow, you go. You enjoy it. I'm so happy for you. And I'd like to ask all three of you, teachers, share for us what you think about this. First, number one, how has the ETA experience improved your life professionally? And secondly, how has the ETA experience improved your life personally? So how has it improved your life professionally and personally? So who'd like to go first? Fernanda?
We can go in the same order, like.
Sure.
Well, professionally, I first decided to come here because professional growth, and it's definitely like a different perspective because in Mexico I was an English teacher, and sometimes it was hard for me to understand because since I am from the border, to understand sometimes like the expectations that people had about learning the language. And now that I'm here, I can learn like, oh, okay, so that's what they see in the schools, and I'm learning like all these U.S. system, right? In my current experience, my students are all American. I don't have any Mexican students, so it's also for me a challenge compared to last year. Last year I had a lot of Yale learners, so I've gotten like both experiences, so that has helped me a lot. Personally, well, my growth is a big belly. I have a baby right now. So, we've grown. I mean, for me personally, I mean, as a family, I mean, it's satisfactory, you know, to be able to be here, and I can take my daughter to school, to the same school that I am going to. I don't have to pay for her school because I am working in that school. They offer me the preschool, and her classroom is just next door to me, so that makes me feel like very comfortable. And so personally, yes, I mean, of course it's challenging, and I felt afraid at the first instance to make the decision, but well, we just decided to come here, and yeah, I mean, also something important that I wanted to mention, personally for me it's great because, as I said, I come from the border, and honestly I can go like once a month or even just one weekend. I can just say, I'm gonna go drive and see my family, because my family is like 3 hours from here, so I can just go there. Even if I had an emergency, honestly, I'm gonna admit it, I'd be there like going in the morning and coming back in the night, because I just needed it to go there. And personally, for me, it's like great. So if you get an opportunity to be in Arizona, that would be a benefit that you all can have because you're close from Arizona.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do that a lot too. We come back and forth between Mexicali and even Puerto Peñasco quite often. It's one of the benefits of being close to the border. So, Deanna, how about yourself? What would you like to share? How the ETA experience has improved your life both professionally and personally?
Well, before I answer, I'm gonna say, Christina, let's talk. I love to travel too. I love all that. As far as professionally, we have 301s here at our district. I think that's in the whole U.S. system. And they give us like something that we work on throughout the whole school year. And we meet with different teachers from different areas, and we come together on a certain thing. This year we're working on like personalized learning and all of that. So those are all new things to me professionally that we didn't have that option in Mexico. So that's amazing. We're testing new things. They give us liberty in our classroom to work however we see fit with our students. I think that's amazing, especially when they give us like all the resources. So professionally, the 301 meetings, which is kind of like CTE in Mexico, but we have those once a month, and they're like after school. And personally, I definitely agree with what Christina was saying. We work. We come here to work, but if we know how to administer our money and we save up and everything, we're able to go places. Just like Fernanda said, I travel to Mexicali anytime I feel homesick. or, you know, every time there was a party or whatever, like a family gathering. So it's great. You're able to have, I would say freedom, because you do save more money, you do earn more money than what we're used to in Mexico. So you're able to travel more and maybe buy more things and have all those luxury.
All right, wonderful, thank you, Dana. And Christina, how about, how does the ETA experience change your life for the better, both professionally and personally?
Well, I think in the professional way, here you get a lot of resources. I mean, if a student said to my mentor or to anyone, even to a teacher, I have a kid, I don't know, is stealing stuff. I have a bunch of resources, like you can do this or this or this, and I have like 20 or 30 things I can do for this kid. And maybe just 2 works, but now I have 18 or 28 other stuff. So for next year, if I get another kid with that problem, so in here, any like as tiny thing it can be, you get a lot of resources to help your students. So as a professional, I think this is like huge. I mean, you have a lot of information. Sometimes it's not too much information, like a lot. It's like you have a lot, but I mean, never is a lot, but it's like sometimes it's just in for a weekend. It's like, oh my god, it's a lot to check, but you have it. I mean, it's something that it works year and year and year. So that's what as a professional, it's something like you get a lot of information that you can apply in here and in any place. I mean, in Mexico, in here, so and resources that maybe in Mexico we don't get so easily. Because it's different, the culture is different, so it's something really good. As personal, like I like to travel a lot, so meeting a lot of people, I mean, it's so good. Like you can not just in here, a lot of people like all over the places. When you travel, you meet out more people, and you can talk about your experience or your job, so you can see more. Like you can open your like everything, you know, your mind to you break all the barriers for teaching, for friendship, for everything. So it's just really something that is really good. It's a person, like I mean, it's really good to meet a lot of people.
Excellent. Well, thanks for sharing that. We definitely appreciate your perspectives. It's hold tight here because I just want to transition here to a potential employer for teachers that are going to come into the program. Dr. Erica Avila is Assistant Superintendent at the Isaac Elementary School District number 5 on the west side of Phoenix, downtown Phoenix. And Dr. Avila, thanks for joining us again this afternoon.
Hi, yeah, thank you for having me. Welcome, everyone.
Well, I'd like you to share, if you would, for us. I know you have a lot of international teachers. Many of them are international teacher lines teachers at the Isaac Elementary School District, something like 30 or so. And could you talk about your experience? I mean, you work very closely, both interviewing, hiring, but also supporting these teachers. What are some of the benefits, and what have you observed in the teachers that are coming through the program?
So my first observation was really the teachers' passion to work with our students and to be here in our school district. So that was my first observation. Second, I really appreciate their motivation and desire to learn. They work very, very hard. They're the first ones to sign up for more training, extra support, meeting with the coaches. So we have seen them do so well, and their student achievement shows how hard they are working. They have some of the highest student achievement in our district.
Fantastic. That's even outscoring American citizens, U.S. citizens, right? That says a lot.
Right.
Very motivated, very dedicated teachers. So that's exciting. And so when you're interviewing international teachers, such as these young people in front of us now, what are some of the characteristics that you're looking for in the teachers that you want to hire?
We ask questions about instruction, and we want to know that the teacher understands the instruction. But important really is their passion to come and make a difference in the lives of our students, because that's what we really need. We really need someone to be in the classroom and get the kids excited and motivated about learning. So showing that you are passionate to make a difference, passionate to work with your students and make a difference in our communities, that's really key. Because we know with teaching, we can always refine teaching, we can always coach, we can help build that, but we can't help build the passion that you bring to the table, and we want to see that come out with the interview.
Absolutely, and there's always something to be said about an individual who is really open to learning and realize we don't know it all, that we need to be open and receptive to coaching and to feedback, because the idea is to sharpen one another, to help each other become more effective at our craft, right?
That's right, absolutely.
Because I can tell you in my observation, the teachers that are most successful are those who purposely seek feedback and evaluation and want to implement the strategies and suggestions that are being provided by leadership of their school district, their local school site, whether it be professional development through ITA, whatever it is, but they're always wanting to learn and always wanting to find a better way to do the work. Work smarter, not harder. Is there anything else, Dr. Avila, you'd like to add to some advice for these young people thinking about applying to the program?
Sure, I would encourage each and every one of you to apply for the program. By showing up today, I see the room filled here, so you're interested, and I want you to know that we are so welcoming. All school districts, not just the ICC school districts, all districts are so happy to have you, because you become part of the school community and part of our solution into improving the educational career of our students. So know that not only do we want you, we need you. So there's a lot of vacancies here, and we really are working on changing what our teaching staff looks like. And we really are intentional on bringing teachers who look and speak, sound like our families. And that's a value and an asset that is so important to us. So I would encourage all of you to apply to Arizona specifically.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Avila. And Deanna, do you have any closing statements or thoughts for this group of young people you'd like to share?
Sure. This is not something I mentioned earlier, but it may seem a little overwhelming, the amount of paperwork we have to fill out or the steps that we have to go through when we're applying. Really isn't that hard. It's not difficult. Once you get the ball going, it starts rolling on its own, and you see it. It feels so good when you're like, oh my God, I did this. I was able to accomplish this on my own. I'm telling you from experience, it can be a little overwhelming seeing all of the things that you have to maybe submit or the process that you have to go through, but it really is not difficult at all. You just have to get that ball going.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Deanna. Christina, would you like to share any closing thoughts or statements for the room?
Well, I encourage everyone to try it. I mean, it can be you have a lot of feelings I'm gonna be my family or my friend, but I mean, it's just 3 years, and if you get the beginning, it's you can feel homesick or something. But I mean, you get friends in here, you get a family in here, so just try it, give it a chance, and you're not gonna regret it.
Thank you, Christina. And Fernanda, how would you like to close this out here with the last thoughts on this?
Yes, well, I would say that in the administrative side, because I think it's a fear from everyone, don't be afraid. I know there is a income you gotta show to come here, because obviously you need to make your living on the first one you get here. But if you don't have it, even it's okay, borrow it from the bank or something, because when you get here and you get your first check, you're gonna be able to pay off easily when you borrow from there. So you just start your life over here, and don't be afraid. All the things, I'm gonna finish the second school year, and everything is okay. It has me just gotten better. So just don't seem like you wouldn't try it, just do it. And as Diana said, it's overwhelming, like all the paperwork, but just keep doing it and doing it. In a blink of an eye, you're going to be already teaching in front of the classroom.
Thank you so much, Fernanda. And Dr. Avila, would you like to share any last thoughts before we disconnect from our Zoom?
I would just say, thank you for even considering coming and joining us in improving the lives of our students and supporting our families. So first I'll say thank you. And second, I'd also say, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to any of us. And all of us are happy to help you and help you feel more comfortable in making the decision.
Thank you so much, Dr. Avila. And thank you, teachers. We certainly appreciate you being here with your alma mater. We love UABC. It's really where the work began. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for representing your university. Thank you for representing ITA. Thank you for representing Mexico in the U.S. Thank you so much. Right. Now we also have here with us Maestro Alejandro Martinez, as I introduced earlier. Would you like to just tell a little bit about yourself, your little background, just briefly, and your visions?
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes. Pues como ya ahorita, mi nombre es Alejandro Martínez. Yo también soy egresado de aquí de la facultad. Trabajé acá en UNICEF por 9 años, chicos, como maestro y responsable del departamento de portugués, cuando había. Y pues un día, I just got like really tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I just decided that I needed a challenge, that I needed something new, something that could keep me interested. What's that? Oh, something that could get me interested in whatever I was doing. And one of the teachers here, he introduced me to Mr. Hammond. And once I sent a text message, I was moving to Arizona the next 2 weeks. My case, jóvenes, is a little bit different because I was born in California, but I was raised here in Mexicali. So all my experience, my academic experience, everything is here from Mexicali. So I just have the opportunity to meet with Kelly Canque, su profesora, that we shared her. She gave me the first opportunity to become a teacher, and then I just realized that I liked it, and I continued through that path, and then somehow I finished my bachelor's, and I did the maestría en lenguas modernas here as well, and then I went over there. So I highly recommend you guys to apply, to go, to not be afraid of doing it. I know it's a challenge, it's a change, but it's something that it's really worth it. As soon as you go over there, you will see that many people is willing to help you. As soon as you get a contract or you get hired, the same teachers, the same people from the district, the principal, they offer you like, do you have a place to stay? Do you have, a bed? Do you have, this, living room, anything. They even give you sometimes dishes, anything that you can ever think, they give it to you for free, guys. So it's a really good experience. Once you get there, you have a mentor in some districts. They help you. Those mentors is like basically the person that is gonna train you how to teach. Because once you go over there, you have to forget of many things that we learn here. Why? Because not many, but somehow chicos, the people that we're teaching is different. They have another mentality, so we have to desaprender some things, and we have to learn new ones, because we have too many resources, and when I say too many, I mean it. Tienen mucho de todo. So as soon as you get there, you will see that the district, most of the time, they issue some money, or a check, or a card, or something, that way you can go and buy material to decorate your own classroom. They give you, the materials, they give you, you don't have to be concerned about, oh my God, I'm gonna have to buy, scissors, color pencils, color paper, white paper, light paper. They give you all that. So it's a really good experience, because most of the time here I've experienced at least in Mexicali, my little world Mexicali, most of the time you have to, to provide those things for the students. If you want to work with posters, you have to buy hojas de rotafolio, you have to buy tons of markers, you have to buy everything. Over there, you have everything already. It's given, and it's really good. It's an amazing experience. We're never alone. The people from the company, they're always, following, like what's going on, how you're feeling, how you're doing, anything that we can do to support you, to help you. And it's really good. I would say that my experience here in Mexicali as a teacher, as a student, because not long ago I was one of you guys. It's amazing, and take all the tools, take all that wisdom that your teachers have. Try to not be asking for horas libres, because that's not gonna help you guys, trust me, it's not gonna help you. But those advices, those little, chats that you have with your teachers, they're gonna help you. They're gonna help you. You have to take every single detail into consideration, because one day you're gonna be egresados. You're gonna be egresados, and you have to take as many resources as you can, and you have to remember, take this into consideration. In the US, jóvenes, we don't teach because we know the stuff. We have to teach by heart. Because the students, they can tell when you do it with love, when you do it with passion, when you do it with interest. Over there, it's more about building relationships more than on just passing the knowledge. When I was here working in Liceo, I used to say, I get paid for talking. Technically, I am. But over there, you have to do more than talk. You have to do more than just stand up in front of the class and start writing something on the board, or use a smart TV, or use this camera to project some document, and even teaching how to highlight or whatever. So you have to do it by heart. You have to do it with purpose. You have to do it with intention, and you have to do it with, interés genuino. Okay, because they know that over there, chicos, it's not just going to teach. It's about building relationship with your students, with their families, with their parents. Most of them, they're students that they don't even live with their parents. They live with their abuelitos, or with, with their brother, with their sister. Everybody has a different story. So you have to take that into consideration. And it's an amazing experience. I highly recommend you guys, encourage you to apply. Once you graduate, once you have your 2 years of experience, you know that there is an opportunity for everybody there, chicos, and do your best. Do your best, try, and we're here to support you. And we're always here, to give you, I don't know if you have questions, hey Alejandro, hey, I don't know, anybody on the team. How do I do this? I heard you guys talking about this. We are here to help you. We are here to provide as much support as we can. And well, I encourage you to apply. It's an amazing opportunity. It's not for us, it's for you guys, and it's for our children over there. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and transition now to what are the requirements for the visa. I want to transition to that. If you can help me, Edberto, I want to go through those prerequisites. I'd like you to go through those two, if you just want to pull them up on the screen.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much, Mr. Hammond. Let me show you the presentation.
So it's important to note that we are a United States Department of State approved program, which means we're a public-private partnership between the United States government and the International Teaching Alliance. We have to go through very strict standards and application process, be approved by the Department of State. We have to meet strict regulations. And something we're very proud about is we're the only company that we know of that does not charge teachers for this opportunity. We receive our compensation from the school districts, and rightfully so, because we're all providing a service to those schools. And you should not have to pay the price for that. What you need to do is save your money so you can start out strong in your new experience in the United States. So we're very proud that that's how we've structured our business. It's about helping people. It's not about making money. That happens, but it really is about providing these experiences, because we want to not only bring our cultures and our countries together, but help our students, okay? So the requirements for the J-1 visa is that you must be currently teaching full-time. Now that can be a combination, either you're teaching one job between 30 and 40 hours a week, or you could be splitting that up between 2 different jobs or more, but you must be currently a full-time teacher to be eligible for the program. You must have an equivalent of a bachelor's degree, which in the United States is typically a 4-year program. However, it could be considered a 3-year program. It depends on the foreign credential evaluation That's what the FCE stands for. And then it says your degree here at Wavese is equivalent to a degree in the United States in the same area, okay? We also need to make sure that the degree is going to be in an education-related field. In order for you to obtain a certification to teach in the different states, it's got to be an education-focused career or degree. Now, you can also come to us with a master's degree in that area or a doctorate, but one of your degrees must be an education-related degree, and you must have evidence that you at least had a semester, or in your case, you'd already meet the requirement, you have a year of practical service experience that you've been practicing. And of course, that is superseded by you need to have 2 years of professional teaching experience to qualify for the program, okay? Again, professional experience in a K through 12 setting, a minimum of 2 years. And then of course, last but not least, you must have a high English proficiency level. You must demonstrate command of the English language both orally and in writing, okay? There's different ways you can demonstrate that. You can submit a test you've taken here within the past 2 years, or we also have some free online assessments that can demonstrate your English proficiency. Again, I mentioned before, it's very important to us that IETA does not charge teachers, that you need to save your money to set yourself up for success in the U.S. The selection, orientation, supervision, and complementary activities are provided at no cost to the participant. In addition, we provide medical insurance that meets Department of State regulations and requirements. That's medical, dental, vision, even life insurance, and counseling assistance or employee assistance, because sometimes you might get homesick and you would need to talk to someone, and that's good. That's a good thing. So we also provide that insurance. Part of the required budget that you're responsible for, again, saving your money for yourself to set you up for success, is prior to selection, you're going to need to obtain that ever important FCE, the Foreign Credential Evaluation, where, and we have part of our company does this itself, where you're able to take a look at your cardex or your transcripts and your titulo and say, yes, this is equivalent to a degree in the U.S. That costs approximately $250 for that, but you only really do it once. It's good for your whole duration that you're in the U.S. on your visa. Once you're selected, you'll need to produce that English certificate, the SEVIS fee, which is $220. SEVIS is the system of the federal government that tracks visa holders that are in the U.S. The J1 visa itself costs $160. You're responsible for your own lodging, transportation, food, and then ancillary fees such as a fingerprint clearance card, which is like $69. The social security number is for free, you just have to apply, and then obtaining your teaching certificate, which in some cases is as low as $60 like in Arizona. So again, we don't charge you here because we want you to save your money to use for these budgeted items, okay? We do assist with you securing housing. We do encourage teachers that come together as friends, or we introduce you through the cohort and try to rent a home together with several bedrooms, like a 3-bedroom home with 3 different teachers, or an apartment. We do try to help you find ways to save cost in that. And we also can give you guidance on transportation, whether you want to take a bus system or you want to go ahead and purchase a vehicle. We can give you some guidance that you understand how the credit system works in the United States, okay? All right. So the next step, this is the most important thing. The hardest step is always the first step. And the first step is just to apply. Here's where you can find us at iagusa.info/teachinUSA, or you can just scan the QR code, which is where? Where's the QR code? There it is. So if you scan that QR code, you can go ahead and start your application process that easy. I mean, what do you have to lose? You know, you only have everything to gain, and it's a whole world of experience that you can gain. You know, the world is a lot bigger than our hometowns. The world's a lot bigger than Mexicali. It's a lot bigger than Mexico. It's bigger than Phoenix. It's bigger than Arizona. And it's great to have those experiences, to step out of your comfort zone, like Christina Kondo shared, to stretch those boundaries of your mind and make friends around the world. It just makes the world a better place. It makes us better people. And so we want to encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity, okay? Now, do we have any nurses here tonight, or this afternoon? Are there any nurses in the house? Is there a doctor in the house? Okay, so we won't have to cover the nurses right now. We are launching the International Nurse Alliance, providing opportunities for nurses to be able to come to the United States as long as they're bilingual, and we can guide them through those processes. So if you know of any nurses or nursing students here at UABC, please feel free to share our information, and we'll be happy to assist them through those processes as well. Okay? So that being said, I'm sure that there are probably some questions, so we can entertain and answer some of your questions now. Does anyone have any questions to ask about the process, the program, anything at all? Yes?
Is there an opportunity in Nevada?
Nevada, we have opportunities in 30 different states. I'm pretty sure Nevada is going to be one of them. It just depends on the school district. Are you thinking of somewhere in particular? What, Las Vegas or where?
Yes.
Clark County. All right. Well, I'm sure that we can help you get connected with Clark County. Welcome. Anyone else?
Is there an official site where we can talk about the separately?
Yes, absolutely. Here on well, the IAGUSA.org is our official website. You can also use the QR code. We're also going to hand out. We should start handing these out now. And this, you can use this QR code. You know, take you to frequently asked questions. Also a landing page that can really guide you and probably answer most of your questions. But feel free to continue to ask. We want to answer in real time. Yes.
Could you go back to the slide of the costs?
Sure.
Could you elaborate more on the part that says at the very bottom, show an approximate amount of 4.5?
Thank you. Yes. So it's recommended, we need to see some kind of evidence, and Fernanda had mentioned that, even if you had to borrow from family or even a bank, but we don't want, certainly don't want you to have to go into debt, but you will be able to pay it back. You've got to have enough money to get situated when you land in the United States. You know, it's, some people think, you know, there's sometimes food just waiting on a platter. It's not that way. We work very, very hard for our money. But we're there to assist you, but you've got to have enough money to get situated, to make sure you have a down payment for your lodging or your apartment, to make sure you have money to stock up for food, to make sure you have new professional clothes, whatever it is that you need to settle into the United States, a new country. We estimate it's around $4,500 US a teacher needs to get situated or relocate before they start earning their paycheck. Now, a lot of it is Fernanda had said some people borrow this from their family or a bank. They're able to pay it back right away with the checks that start coming in. So try not to let that scare you away. $4,500. It's, I know it seems like a lot right now, but it really isn't that much in the big scheme of things, and it's something that you can overcome with planning. Okay? And part of the great thing is we're not charging, because there are companies out there that will charge you $4,000 to $5,000 just for you to apply, and we don't do that. We want you to keep that money so you can actually come and have the experience. Yes, another question?
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
I don't know if somebody else has
Sure,
a
go
question.
ahead. Go ahead.
Speaking about the same thing, if I happen to have my own car and I have family who lives in whatever place I apply, I still have to prove that I have the money to go?
Not necessarily. You can like make that notation, because certainly if you already have a place to stay and you have a car, then that's a couple of the biggest things that we're worried about for you. We can mark off the list. So, because that's the bulk of the cost of moving is housing and transportation.
But it's not a requirement for me to have the money to go, right?
No, well, we do want to be able to see you have access to funds.
Okay.
Because, just for emergency, you have access to funds somehow.
Makes sense.
Okay. And that can even be a credit card, as long as you have access to emergency funds.
Como cuando te das intercambio que te piden 2 tarjetitas o 3 cuentas diferentes, yo fui estudiante de movilidad también y me pedían eso, yo siempre no tengo nada, pero te lo piden por ti. Yo me fui como con qué, yo me fui como con 4,000 pesos en aquella situación y realmente sí se da la situación en el que por cualquier cosa, que si se me antoja algo, o sea, llegas y llegas pues a ver dónde te vas a quedar y todo eso, que ellos te ayudan a encontrar vivienda, te dicen, ¿sabes qué? Mira, están estos departamentos, están estas casas con tantas recámaras, y te dicen dónde puedes ir al mandado, te dicen dónde puedes tomar el transporte público, etcétera, o a veces hasta te dicen, ok, tu escuela es esta, te puedes ir hasta caminando, ¿no? Dependiendo ya de cada quien, pero ese dinero es para uso personal de ustedes, nadie más lo toca, pero ellos quieren saber por motivos de ustedes, de que no queremos que nadie llegue para allá y diga, no tengo que comer, no traje dinero, no traje nada, entonces es más que nada por esa situación.
Some more questions? We didn't talk about family. If you are legally wed, have a spouse, or you have dependent children, you can apply to bring your spouse or dependent children up to age 21 on what's called a J2 visa. And the J2 visa is what Fernanda had mentioned. Your spouse is able to come, they apply for a work permit, and eventually you can have a double income with both spouses working. Your children have the privilege to go ahead and attend our schools and take advantage of the wonderful resources that we have while you're there as well. Okay. And we are looking, working on opportunities with Northern Arizona University for teachers to continue graduate level studies at a discounted rate starting this next year. It's something I've been working with. It's my alma mater where I'm finishing my doctorate. But we're looking for opportunities for teachers who want to continue to study and earn a degree while they're in the U.S. at a prestigious university as Northern Arizona University. So we're also working on that, in case you wondered about continuing your education while you're working. Any other questions? Yes. Hello.
We have students here from first semester.
Okay.
From first semester all the way to 8th semester.
Okay.
What sort of classes would you recommend them to be better prepared for this journey?
Thank you so much. Number one, you want to get as much practical experience as you can. So besides all your core curriculum, all the regular coursework you're taking, take advantage of every opportunity you can to actually get into the schools and get that experience where you're in front of the students, where you're actually teaching and learning, okay? Of course, make sure anything that's going to help you strengthen your English skills, both verbally and written, you want to be able to take advantage of that. And any opportunity for instructional strategies or pedagogy, and just the practice of transferring knowledge, and along with that using instructional technology, you want to be able to incorporate that into your studies. That's the best advice I can give you. What's that? Classroom management, yes. That is very, very important. Yes, classroom management, but again, a lot of that comes from experience. You need to be in front of the classroom. So the more you're in front of the class, and the more you're studying a teacher that is a veteran, and you learn from them. Because I can tell you, we learn in the classroom what to do, positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, all that. But when you're with those students, and you're dealing with them every day, that's when you really learn. So get in the schools.
Aprendemos, chicos, que la mejor manera de hacerlos que trabajen no son las amenazas. Se aprende, siempre hay maneras de convencerlos y de hacerlos que quieran hacer o hacerlos creer que lo quieren hacer, sin amenazarlos, créanme.
Yes.
There was another person there.
Is only for elementary school?
No, this we have teachers in the pre-K through 12 settings. So that means every grade level from pre-kindergarten all the way through high school, in every subject matter. We have an especially dire need for special education teachers, math and science teachers as well. But we need all teachers.
I'm not from here. I'm from another kind of science.
Okay.
And then can I ask in Spanish or only?
Sure, go ahead. No, go ahead. Ask in Spanish.
Okay. Sí tienen. Okay. Son como tres preguntas que tengo realmente. Una es, por ejemplo, si empiezo a aplicar esto, ¿cuánto tarda el proceso más o menos?
Es relativamente rápido. How long is the process?
Well, right now, what we say, all right, the whole process from start to finish ideally would be from the moment you complete your application to the moment you're arriving in the US, it should be about 6 months. So we're all right there, because school starts August. We need you in the United States July, because we have to take you through the processes of social security numbers, you know, teaching certificate, all those things. So now is the time. So you start now, ideally you would start your application, say tomorrow. It's gonna take you about 2-3 weeks to complete that whole process, and then you're going to start to receive requests to interview from school districts. Once the district selects you for hire, bam, it starts going into fast motion. And you've gotta be in the US by July.
And another question is that, for example, voy a decir en español, me preguntan, para aplicación, creo que hay un costo, ¿no? Creo que eran como $80. Alguien me dijo una vez que había un costo de esa aplicación para aplicar. Entonces, una vez que aplicas y te aceptan, por así decirlo, es cuando ya hay que tramitar toda esta parte del visado y de las otras cosas que venían en la diapositiva anterior.
No, that, you probably have heard from one of the other companies, that maybe a lot of the companies charge application fees. We do not. We do not charge fees to teachers. That's what really sets us apart. Okay? Because there are other companies that do this, but none of them are ITA. We don't charge you. We'll never charge you that.
Y la otra pregunta creo que ya la contestó, por ejemplo, yo que doy clases en materias que están asociadas a economía, sociología, matemáticas, también puedo aplicar para...
Sí, de hecho cualquiera, jóvenes, si tienen algún conocido algo que sea profesor de matemáticas, de ciencias, y que sea bilingüe, pueden aplicar, claro que sí pueden aplicar.
Absolutely. And we really need science teachers. You know, chemistry, biology, whatever, we need science in any kind of mathematics. Okay, I mean, you have a job tomorrow.
Y nomás para complementar, y uno de los beneficios o la ventaja que tendrían ustedes es que pueden contactarnos ya sea al maestro Sergio Espinosa o en mi caso, o en su caso a un servidor, y nosotros los podemos guiar en ese proceso de aplicación. Si tienen duda con algún documento, pues bueno, mándenos el documento, lo revisamos, nos apoya maestra Fabiola Barrientos y les decimos, los guiamos en qué deben de realizar, ¿no? Para que ese proceso de los 6 meses se haga menor, ¿no? Que rápidamente estén listos para ser entrevistados por las escuelas.
Muchas gracias.
No? I also have 2 questions. The first one would be, can you tell the difference between the J1 and the J2 visa?
Sure.
And also, let's say that I apply for it and I get accepted, or I don't know. But what are the chances of me actually getting hired by the school district?
Sure, so number one, a J1 visa is the visa that the teacher must come on, okay? You can only come on the J1 visa in this category. The J2 visa is for a family member. That would either be a legally wed spouse and or your dependent children, which is defined a child up to age 21. It's dependent upon you. So that's the difference between the J1 and J2 visa. The other question, remind me, was, what are the chances? Well, the chances of you being hired are very good because we need so many teachers. So you just need to get your application done and get it, throw your hat in the ring, so to speak. We need you to get your application in because schools are already in there interviewing right now across the country. We already have letters of intent, we call that, letter of intent to hire, are already being issued by schools. Okay? And our schools, especially across the Southwest, from Texas to California, want teachers from Mexico. We don't have enough. We only have 145, where we have 999 Filipinos. And I've never been to the Philippines once. We have 999, I'm not joking, applications. We need more teachers from Mexico. But we need you to step up and say, I want to be part of this and take advantage of the opportunity. Because chances are very likely you'll get hired.
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Yes.
Do I have to pay $160 every year I want to get the visa, or is it going to have like how much time does it last?
No, the $160 lasts for 3 years. And then it's renewed one more time at the end of the 3 years for a 2-year extension, that's what we get the 5 years. So you only, at the most, you're only gonna pay that twice, usually it's only once.
So I can work continuously for 5 years in the US?
You can work the J1 visa is issued initially for 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, as long as you wanna keep working and the school wants you to keep working, then we help you through the process to extend it for 2 more years.
Okay.
That's where you get the 5 years.
Oh yeah, it's related about, I would love to go there and to keep studying. I would like to study a master's degree, so is there any program as well at the same time or something?
Yes, absolutely. That's, I was sharing a little earlier, where I'm working right now with Northern Arizona University to create opportunities for teachers to continue their education while they're on the program. And that would be a hybrid of online, and then also the summer times being able to go up to the campus in Flagstaff. So we're working on some opportunities.
So at the same time, like I'm teaching and at the same time studying.
Yes. Well, I mean, it just enriches your experience, you know, it will be built in such a way, because it's built for teachers, right? So you're not overwhelmed, but it's more, you learn and then you practice. You put into practice and you reflect, learn and practice. So it's built for teachers, in the education degrees. Another question?
Sorry. Don't you have don't you offer the other visa, which is H1, I guess?
H1B, that is a direct sponsorship from schools, and schools do not typically like to do that. Number one, it costs a lot of money for the school districts. Number two, there's a limit on the H1B visas, and the calendar for the visa processing, it does not align with the school district calendar. Whereas the J1 visas move to the top for interviews. Like, if I hired you today, gave you the letter, you had everything in the system, you could have your visa within 3 weeks and be in the United States. It's a much faster process. Another question?
Yes, another question. Can our students at graduates teach math, for example, as Diana is teaching? Or what do they have to do in order to teach math, science, history, German?
Good question. So generally, the way it works is whatever your degree is in, your expertise, what you're considered qualified to teach in Mexico is what we would want you to teach in the United States. Now, someone could say, well, I happen to have a master's degree in mathematics. Well, then certainly because you have the expertise, we could probably get you in to be able to teach mathematics. So there are some opportunities. In some states, there's more wiggle room, or there's more opportunities to do that. Arizona is one. If you're a strong teacher that demonstrates you have a strong background in math, perhaps you could take one of the state tests to demonstrate your proficiency and be able to teach math. So it just depends on the state that you're going to work in. We have 50 different states, 50 different ways of certifying teachers in the U.S. Good thing is we have experts that take you through that process. Other question? Yes.
So it depends on what your expertise is as a teacher?
Yes, what your degree is in. For example, my degree, well, my bachelor's degree was in Christian ministry. Then I went to school to earn a Master of Arts in teaching elementary education. And then I also earned a specialty in U.S. history. So I was able to teach. In my career, I taught 3rd grade, all subjects. I taught 5th grade, all subjects. I also taught 7th grade, all subjects. And then I also taught 7th and 8th grade U.S. history. See? So you can move around with what your background and training is to teach.
So let's say that I'm graduating from this faculty in Spanish and English. I will be teaching Spanish to the students, per se?
Who's speaking? I'm sorry. Oh, you're thinking, I was like, yes, Lord. I thought it was what the back. I get distracted. Anyway, so tell me, what is your degree?
Well, I don't know how you say it in English. It's not como.
Oh, she's just started her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what do you want your degree to, or what would you like to teach? What would you want to teach?
Spanish and English.
Okay, so you want to earn the degree here in English, teaching English, but you'd also need to have So at least, you wanna have like Spanish minor, so to speak, I wanna say it in Spanish, but you wanna make sure that you meet the requirements, even in Mexico, to teach Spanish. Because again, the way the international teaching certificates work is it says whatever your home country considers you qualified to teach, will recognize for you to teach in the United States. Okay? So just follow the course here. Whatever you need in Mexico to be able to teach Spanish, do that.
Well, I think that, well, I don't know if I'm correct. Our students have a subject on 7 or 8 semester that is called teaching Spanish to foreigners.
Yes.
So just taking a subject like that doesn't give me that.
No, it's not enough. It's not enough. Some states that might do this, where it gets kind of a little tricky because.
If I work as a Spanish teacher and I have 2 years experience and everything, no?
It's yes and no, again, because it depends on what state you're gonna go to. Now, if you're gonna go to Arizona, then I would say yes, because Alejandro went through this. And I was able to make a case to the Arizona Department of Education and say, his degree was given he studied in Spanish, and that was a language of instruction. And so it went to the Board of Education, and they approved and authorized him to be able to teach Spanish. He also though took the proficiency test.
Es que
which he
lo
could
que
do.
pasa es que ellos cuentan todos los créditos que tienen de cada materia. Y a mí, pues, morfología, morfosintaxis,
Right.
en español, del segundo idioma, y luego tomé portugués. Y todo eso a mí me lo tomaron en cuenta y yo me certifiqué como docente de español y de portugués en Arizona, a pesar de que portugués no lo enseñé ni para nada. Pero he estado enseñando español. Te cuentan todo eso y pues aparte la experiencia que traes frente al grupo, entonces todo eso cuenta. Por eso le comentaba a la señorita que al final de su paso por aquí por la universidad, dependiendo de los créditos y todo, porque ellos cuentan los créditos y el número de horas. Entonces, pues,
Well, that's where the foreign credential evaluation is so important, because it tells us how many credits, US equivalent credits, you have in the different subject matters and different courses, okay?